Tensions are rising in the South China Sea. News headlines flash, U.S. warships return to Subic Bay, and Philippines welcomes American forces amid China threats. The decisions made here, in the deep-water port of Subic Bay, could change the course of the 21st century. Two old allies face a new challenge together. This is not about nostalgia, it's about modern geopolitics and survival. The calm waters of Subic Bay are now at the center of a global power struggle. The stakes are incredibly high for everyone involved. To understand today's news, we must look back. Subic Bay was once the largest overseas U.S. military installation in the world, a vital Cold War hub. The deep harbor sheltered the U.S. 7th Fleet, allowing ships to refuel, repair, and rest. From here, the U.S. projected power across the Pacific, countering the Soviet Union. The base was a city unto itself, with schools, hospitals, and shopping centers. Thousands of Americans and tens of thousands of Filipino workers called it home. The economies of nearby cities, like Olongapo, depended on the American presence. Subic Bay played a crucial role during major conflicts, especially the Vietnam War. It was the backbone of U.S. military operations in the region, enabling rapid response to crises. Its strategic value was undeniable, an anchor of American security policy in the Pacific for nearly a century. But the relationship was complex. The presence of a foreign base raised questions of sovereignty and independence. Many Filipinos benefited economically, but others saw it as a reminder of colonialism. This debate grew louder over the years, setting the stage for dramatic change. The U.S. flag over Subic Bay was a symbol of alliance but also of tension. Eventually, the question became, could the Philippines thrive without the Americans? The answer would reshape the region. Subic Bay fell silent, waiting for a new purpose in a new world. The American era at Subic Bay ended suddenly. The Cold War was over, and the Soviet threat faded. Nationalism surged in the Philippines. Many wanted to stand on their own. The military agreement was set to expire in 1991. Then, disaster struck. Mount Pinatubo erupted, devastating the bases. Clark Air Base was destroyed. Subic Bay was severely damaged. Cleanup costs soared, strengthening calls for the Americans to leave. In September 1991, the Philippine Senate voted not to renew the treaty. The decision was celebrated as a victory for sovereignty. For the U.S., it meant a major strategic withdrawal. In November 1992, the last U.S. warship sailed out of Subic Bay. The American flag was lowered for the final time. The bay, once bustling, became quiet. The Philippines faced an economic hole and an uncertain future. The country had reclaimed its sovereignty, but at a cost. Subic Bay waited, holding echoes of a powerful past. Its future was uncertain, but change was inevitable. After the U.S. left Subic Bay, Asia's security landscape shifted. China's rise was rapid, its economy boomed, and its military modernized. Beijing claimed almost the entire South China Sea, drawing a 9-dash line on maps. Chinese ships began harassing Filipino fishermen and asserting control over disputed waters. The 2012 Scarborough Shoal standoff was a wake-up call for Manila. China then launched massive island-building projects in the Spratlys, constructing runways and military outposts. These artificial islands became unsinkable aircraft carriers, shifting the balance of power. The Philippines turned to international law, winning a landmark 2016 ruling in The Hague. The court said China's claims had no legal basis, a huge victory for the Philippines. But China ignored the ruling, calling it waste paper. The limits of international law were exposed. The Philippines realized it couldn't face China alone. The region's security environment had changed permanently. China's ambitions were clear, and its power was growing. The Philippines needed new strategies and old allies. The shadow of the dragon loomed larger than ever. Manila had to act. Facing China's aggression, the Philippines reconsidered its alliances. The idea of standing alone no longer seemed viable. Filipino leaders looked to their old ally, the United States. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty still bound the two nations. Recent U.S. statements clarified attacks on Philippine vessels in the South China Sea would trigger American defense commitments. This promise changed everything. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, allowed U.S. access to Philippine bases, not new bases, but shared facilities. U.S. troops and equipment could rotate through, boosting readiness and response. The alliance was being rebuilt, sending a clear signal to China. The decision to invite the U.S. back to Subic Bay was the boldest step yet. Subic's strategic location made it ideal for U.S. naval operations. This time, it would be a Philippine base with American access, respecting sovereignty, but enhancing security. It was a modern solution to a modern threat. Manila's change of heart was driven by necessity. Old alliances were reborn in the face of new dangers. The return of U.S. naval vessels to Subic Bay is a game-changer. It's a powerful deterrent. American warships send a clear message to Beijing. The Philippines is not alone. Any aggression could risk direct confrontation with the United States. For the U.S., Subic Bay solves a major logistical problem. Without it, ships must travel thousands of miles for repairs and supplies. Access to Subic means longer deployments, faster response, and greater operational readiness. American power is now on the doorstep of the world's most contested waters. The partnership goes beyond military might. More joint exercises will improve interoperability between U.S. and Philippine forces. The U.S. will help modernize the Philippine military with training, equipment, and intelligence. This builds up the Philippines' own capabilities. The message to the region is clear. The U.S. is committed to its allies and to a free, open Indo-Pacific. Other Southeast Asian nations are watching closely. The American return could encourage more regional cooperation. It strengthens Washington's network of alliances, essential for peace and stability in Asia. Subic Bay is once again a linchpin of regional security. The stakes are high, but so are the hopes. The alliance is stronger and more necessary than ever. The world is watching. The U.S. return to Subic Bay isn't just strategic, it's economic. When the Americans left in 1992, the local economy collapsed. The Philippine government turned the base into the Subic Bay Freeport Zone, but it never fully replaced the U.S. Navy's economic engine. Now, there's hope for renewed prosperity. U.S. ships mean new jobs, more business for local shops, and fresh investment in port facilities. The rebirth of Subic as a logistics hub promises thousands of jobs. This new chapter will blend commercial and military activity. The Freeport Zone will continue, alongside a busy shipyard serving both container ships and destroyers. It's a win-win global trade and national security. The challenge is balancing these roles, ensuring military operations don't disrupt commerce. For locals, the return brings hope and a sense of familiarity. Older generations remember the prosperity of the base years. They hope this new arrangement brings economic security for their children. The bay is being reborn, its sound and activity a symbol of progress. Subic's revival combines economic hopes with strategic might. The U.S. return brings benefits, but also risks. The Philippines could be caught between two superpowers if conflict erupts. Subic Bay could become a target in any U.S.-China confrontation. Social tensions may rise. Memories of past incidents with U.S. troops linger. Legal safeguards exist, but incidents could strain the alliance. Some fear renewed dependence on the U.S. could limit Philippine independence. Washington's priorities may not always align with Manila's. China's reaction is unpredictable. Retaliation could come through sanctions or increased harassment at sea. The Philippines is walking a tightrope, seeking security without provoking crisis. Managing this balance will be the government's greatest challenge. The stakes are high, and the risks are real. The U.S. return to Subic Bay marks a pivotal moment for the Philippines and the region. It's a bold response to a changing world, a calculated risk to secure national interests. For the U.S., it solidifies its strategic pivot to Asia and commitment to its oldest regional ally. Subic Bay anchors American presence in the Indo-Pacific, countering China's assertiveness. The alliance is now a central pillar of America's regional strategy. The implications for Asia are profound. Other nations must reconsider their positions. The era of ambiguity is over. Geopolitical lines are being drawn. Subic Bay's revival is a story of adaptation, old alliances meeting new challenges. The hope: this partnership will deter conflict and promote stability. The world watches, hoping for peace in a free and open Pacific.